Man, I don't know. You know, that was my real little brother, bro. So it's like,
Yo, shout to Juice too, man. Like, yo, that kid was so talented, man.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily close with him, but I got to speak to him, you know, a couple times, and just the sweetest guy.
To be so young, he like mastered that so quickly. Like, his potential was so off the chart.
All rappers in the music industry love Juice WRLD. These same rappers were also told information regarding his passing that the public doesn't even know until today. Here's what you need to know. On December 8th in 2019, Juice WRLD, alongside Ally Lotti, ChrisLongFilms, as well as others, were flying in a private jet to Chicago. While on board, having fun with his girlfriend and friends on a private jet, the mood would drastically change into a state of panic, as Juice WRLD would be informed by one of his security guards as soon as they were about to land, his jet was being tracked, as the feds were awaiting his arrival at the Chicago Midway International Airport, as Special Forces police teams alongside K9 dogs were awaiting his arrival to the airport. But how did law enforcement know Juice WRLD would be carrying several pounds of illegal narcotics on this plane? Did it have something to do with Ally Lotti's countless cases of trafficking charges? Would it be Juice WRLD's Instagram live stream the day before showing off narcotics? Or was this all a setup for Juice WRLD to finally distance himself from the spotlight as he has always wanted? Now, in the official court files of Juice WRLD's passing, it reveals that Jarad Higgins had been using for many years. As in an early interview of his career, he would state, "What do you expect if I'm a young dude that really loves music? I really look up to these artists, and I don't have a man giving me no type of guidance. My father was not in my life like that, so listening to these grown men rap about narcotics, well, that sounds pretty appealing." As the reporter asked Juice WRLD how he even got into narcotics in the first place. He would also mention in that interview that his first time was in the 6th grade. It's important to note narcotic use was always an issue for Juice WRLD, as even a week before Juice WRLD's passing, it was reported that Juice had been sneaking around doing narcotics in and around the music studio. And it was getting so bad to the point that Juice WRLD would have many conversations with family, friends, and management about getting clean. Now, Lord would say in an interview, and I quote, "We were all starting to be on his case a lot more about the narcotics that he was taking." He says, "He was categorizing how much he was doing with different people. He would walk into the studio, act like he hasn't done any narcotics all day, and do a certain amount in there before I told him, bro, no, chill. He would then get upset, go upstairs and hang out with the guys and do the exact same thing." Now, these conversations that Juice WRLD had with loved ones would end up working, as Jarad agreed to getting treatment. Later on in that week, Lord would mention that during the tour of Australia that ended a week prior to Juice's passing, himself as well as others confronted Juice all together about his use, where he stated, "We had just broken down a lot of barriers with him," Lord explains. "I and a couple others came to him in tears, like, we're worried about you and we're scared we're gonna lose you if you keep up these habits, and that we need to do something." Juice WRLD would agree, and we had his treatment booked for later, starting on December 22nd, as that was the soonest that they were available to get him in. It hurts, it really hurts. With treatment now booked, Juice WRLD would continue off his shows for the week. His concert lineup, though, would be paused as Juice WRLD's birthday party was approaching. Now, on December 8th, Juice WRLD, alongside his girlfriend Ally, his filmer, and security, were boarding on a private jet to fly into Chicago. While boarding his plane that was already late for around 50 minutes, the flight felt very strange to Juice WRLD's friend.
It was acting weird, the stewardess lady was acting weird, and I just felt something off. I got up to like, yo, we should leave. You know what I mean? I got up and walked to the door, and then like
crazy
to see if the cars were still there, and I'm like, because I was gonna be like, yo, let's just go off this plane right
Yeah.
now. Like,
now, he ended up being correct. Sources claim the pilot was the first one on the plane. While Juice WRLD and company were boarding the jet, the pilot was able to smell narcotics from a very far distance, and it only got worse the closer Juice WRLD got. Now, this would lead to the pilot exiting the plane. He would call law enforcement and creating a massive tip to set up Juice WRLD. On Juice WRLD's private jet, he had many illegal items, from 70 pounds of narcotics stuffed into suitcases. He also had 2 firearms with high-capacity ammunition magazines, as well as a bag full of narcotics as well. Now, many blame the pilot for Juice WRLD's passing, including Ally Lotti herself.
I've lost
two of the most important people in my life because of snitches.
Now, law enforcement would tell the pilot to continue the flight as normal and pretend like nothing is wrong. The flight would take off, everything was going normal as usual. This was until, however, when they arrived in Chicago, where you're allowed to turn off airplane mode on your phone, but you're still in the air, meaning you're around 5 minutes out from landing on the plane. So while being around 5 minutes left in the air, Juice WRLD's team would receive a text.
Thing was normal and everything was fine. And once we started getting closer to Chicago and we started getting service on our phones, our security guard, Hen, texted the group chat and was basically like, cops are here and they have a dog.
Now, it would be at this moment where everyone began to panic. While doing so, Juice WRLD would then have some of the narcotics that were stored in his carry-on bag. Law enforcement believe that during the flight, once Juice WRLD was told by his team the feds were awaiting his arrival, that he would have taken these narcotics in order to 1, have less charges when he lands, or 2, have enough in his system so that it lasts while he's sitting in jail for the next couple hours, or even 3, just to have enough to put him to ease while this situation's about to go down. Whatever the case might be, all it did was make the issues on the plane even worse, as when you take into account knowing the feds are awaiting your arrival, you have 70 pounds of narcotics on a plane alongside 2 firearms, all of the nerves would then end up putting Juice WRLD's heart into overdrive. With Juice WRLD now sitting on the private jet, everyone around him knows something serious is wrong. It would only start to have more panic inside of this small private jet. Finally, when they landed, this is where feds would quickly storm inside of the private jet, escorting everyone off. Meanwhile, Ally Lotti is screaming at law enforcement, telling them to hurry up, get on the jet, and check out Jarad Higgins, otherwise known as Juice WRLD. An ambulance would then quickly arrive to the scene, where witnesses claim that Juice WRLD was transported to emergency care, but this is where he would sadly pass. While paramedics were helping out Juice WRLD, the feds and canines were going through the luggage that was stored at the bottom of the plane. The dogs were very quick to sniff out all of the illegal items, and this would even raise the question of, why would Juice WRLD even bring this on his jet? And within the next couple of weeks, that question would be answered by Juice WRLD's filmer, as he did in fact have his birthday party coming up.
This weekend, we're going to Chicago to celebrate his birthday. It was just his birthday the other day, but we're going this weekend, Saturday. We're flying out there. We're gonna have a birthday party with his mom and family and friends and stuff like that from out there. So
the 2 security guards were also arrested at the scene of the crime, as they were the ones holding the firearm. Then later, Juice WRLD's photographer was also arrested. He was charged with a misdemeanor of firearm violation. So with all of the information I just shared being released to rappers in the industry, we would then see Boosie suggest and reveal that the pilot of the plane was ultimately responsible for the passing of Juice WRLD, referring to the pilot as a snitch. This would even lead into other Juice WRLD's friends reacting, such as G Herbo, where he would share this.
Man, I don't know, that was my real little brother, bro. So it's like, man, I don't know, we still, we dealing with that day, to be honest, man. It's still, of course, I'm not even gonna say I don't think, it ain't even been a day he ain't crossed my mind in some form or fashion, you know what I'm saying?
To even Post Malone sharing this.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily close with him, but I got to speak to him, a couple times, and just the sweetest guy. And
this would even lead into Leroy sharing his experiences with Juice WRLD, which is a very important key to this entire video.
I learned a lot of stuff being around him and his process and how he records.
Most rappers would probably be making a mistake if they tried to record the way that Juice did.
No, he was the GOAT, the best.
To even Leroy sharing how Juice WRLD helped him up on the come up in the music industry.
And the other thing that I took away was really getting in touch with your emotions when making a song. That's one thing that I feel like he did perfectly.
Many Juice WRLD fans were amazed to see that Eminem would even tap in, sharing his reaction to Juice WRLD as well.
Yo, shout to Juice too, man. Like, yo, that kid was so talented, man. He, like, his freestyle he did on Westwood, where he rapped for an hour, like, what the? That's the that we used to try to do at the hip hop shop. To be so young, he like mastered that so quickly. Like, his potential was so off the chart.
And even a reaction that many fans were not expecting came from Tekashi 6ix9ine, as Juice WRLD started beef with Tekashi back in the day. When Juice was performing once at a nightclub, he got the entire crowd to start chanting towards 6ix9ine. Obviously 6ix9ine didn't like that and released a video to social media, releasing a video trying to make fun of Juice WRLD. However, 6ix9ine would later reveal on IG Live that the two resolved their beef with each other, and Juice WRLD even reached out to him.
Look what Juice WRLD said. This is one reason I respect Juice WRLD, right? This is when I was clowning him. He messaged me. Look, Juice WRLD wrote me and said, yo, that video's so funny, I can't stop watching it. And you know what I said? I said, yo, call me. He said, you taking over the world. I said, peace, king. He said, what's your number? I sent.
This would even later result in Trippie Redd, a collaborator with Juice WRLD on Feline, posting to his Instagram captioning, I kinda hate life, to be honest. I'm so sick and tired of this. Another friend that Juice was very close with was Ski Mask. Not only was Ski Mask very close with Juice WRLD, but he was also best friends with XXXTentacion. As they have now both passed within the last few years, Ski Mask would tweet out, no, he can't be gone. They keep taking my brothers from me. Now, another big fan of Juice WRLD while growing up was actually Billie Eilish, as she reacted, rest in paradise, man. This would even later result in another one of Juice WRLD's collaborators being Marshmello, who collaborated on Juice songs such as Come and Go and Bye Bye. He would say, rest easy, my brother, I love you, bro. But that wasn't the only artist that collaborated with Juice WRLD that would speak out, who planned on creating music with Juice WRLD in the future. He would share Absolute Legend, one of those voices you hear that makes you forget everything else in the world. So young and talented, and much more life he could have shared with everyone. Juice WRLD, your music lives on forever now. Even leading to Toronto rapper Drake speaking on the situation, stating, I would like to see all the younger talent live longer. I hate waking up hearing another story filled with blessings that were cut short. Now, even with all of the evidence on Juice WRLD's passing, there is still some bits of evidence which make people believe that he is still alive. Now, people actually looked a lot into Juice WRLD's music. They noticed in his hit song, All Girls Are the Same, Juice WRLD would sing, I'm a jealous boy, I really feel like John Lennon. Now, in case you're unaware, Lennon passed on December 8th, which is actually the exact same day as Juice WRLD. Juice has always been a huge fan of John Lennon, as he has stated in many interviews. But not only in that lyric, Juice would also sing, We Ain't Making It Past 21, in his hit song called Legends, which is a tribute song to X and Lil Peep. Now, Juice WRLD was at the age of 21, where he would sadly leave Earth, including a variety of tweets of Juice WRLD himself saying things relating to his passing.